I call upon Dr. U. Venkatesh sir from Gorakhpur to deliver address on protecting youth from smoke.
Good afternoon, everyone. And so the last academic activity I done in Tamil Nadu is my 5th class final examination. So after that, every year I used to come once a year to my hometown in Tamil Nadu. So this is my first academic activity after I become a doctor. So I delighted to be here, and thank you Venkatesh Karthikeyan for inviting me. So my given topic is protecting youth from smoke, and it is a difficult challenge. And the institute where I work is from Uttar Pradesh, where one of the highest prevalence of substance use is there. So we started an initiative by making a with the aim to bring some changes in the policy, because my previous speaker spoke about why the youth is important. Targeting the youth is important. There are so many definitions, like if United Nations says 15 to 24 as a youth, if you say United Nations young definition, it comes from 10 to 24. But if you talk in public health point, there is a concept of inverted public health triangle. So the top is the population, and the middle one is those who are with the disease and the complications. So this is age group which required upstream policy. And as far as the policy is concerned, there will be a problem and there will be a solution. Solution should be there for a problem. And the third most important point is the political will. Unless the political will is not there, the policy will not be made. So this is the Kingston model of public health, where the problem, solution, and along with that political will matches, then only the policy decision happens. So this is a topic which need the upstream policy and the Kingston model of the public health model to tackle this. So I will talk about this very briefly, respecting the time. So coming to AIIMS, Gorakhpur is relatively a new institute. It was inaugurated in 2019, and we, along with the CTFK, that is Campaign for Tobacco, this Global Health Advocacy Incubator, we started to work on tobacco. And we formalized the relationship by establishing the National Center for Policy Research in Tobacco Control. The main aim of the center is to create evidences which can be useful for the policy makers. There are many evidences available. As far as the tobacco is concerned, if you talk about lung cancer and smoking, so since 5 decades, we have a lot of papers. Whatever the case control study, we always take example of lung cancer and cigarette smoking. But what about BD? What about Indian evidences? Whenever we go and talk to the stakeholders meetings, then people ask for Indian evidences. Where are the Indian evidences? They think that the BDs are relatively safer than the cigarette smoking. So it cannot be taxed higher. When we go there and talk in the consultation meeting, please raise the taxes for the BD as well. They said, no, it is relatively safer. And this is coming from the MP who is sitting in the parliament. Then we thought of designing such kind of center there in Gorakhpur, and so we invited Chief Minister and we seek his support, and we felt that this is the correct time to go, because this government have a political will to do against the tobacco. So then we established this center. If you look at the surveys, national representative surveys, I don't believe in this surveys. I was presenting this figures, and madam was also showing many figures. When I was presenting these figures in the media consultation, in the media people, they said, itna prevalence. I was demonstrating them, see how good we are doing in terms of the prevalence of the tobacco and other substance, where our trend is reducing. They were saying, "Arey, kya baat kar rahe ho, sir? It is increasing." They did not accept. They said, "I ready to agree all the facts except these figures." I said, this is a national representative data, but we have to think what are the limitations of these are asked to the youths, young people, who are aged between 10 to 24. You expect a 11-year guy to give a correct history in front of the teachers, in the front of the parents. So this is, I believe that this is just a like a tip of iceberg phenomena only. Only the tip is visible, and there are so many youths which those have experienced the substance use. So if you look at this data, it is 8.4, and we also conducted a study at AIIMS Gorakhpur. The prevalence was much higher than this, that is 32%, and the tobacco is the most common one, followed by the alcohol in India. And ma'am was also showing some studies regarding the substance use, which was conducted by AIIMS Delhi. And in front of AIIMS Delhi, we presented our studies quoting that these values are much higher than what you are thinking, and we used much standardized tool than you. Then this is the National Family Health Survey. This is the most recent data which is available. So if you look at this age group 15 to 19 years, any kind of tobacco is 14.6, and smoking cigarette is 6.2, and smoking BD is 2.5. And 20 to 34, the 31.1, and followed by the cigarette smoking 14.9, and smoking BD is 7.1. Then this is basically, we need to understand where this the initiation of smoking occurs. As you can see, this is the percentage of the student by the usual place of smoking. 19.8% of the boys start their, smoke in the home, followed by the school. In case of girls, the 37.6%, they smoke at their home, and followed by the school. So this home, school, why these are important to understand? Then only we can target our intervention there, to achieve the maximum effort. So then the another table which shows the distribution of the students who are aged between 13 to 15 years who are currently smoking, and by urge first thing in the morning, according to this. Once they get up, they have an urge to smoke. What it shows? It shows the severity of the involvement. So if you can look at this data, sometime is 30.1 and always is 5.4. But I, as a policy maker, I will add this sometimes and always and see this as number. It is huge. I mean, the severity involvement is huge. So as early they start, they are likely to smoke for the longer period. So if they smoke for the longer period, they will come up with the more number of morbidity and mortality. That going to be a huge burden, not only in the health point of view, also economical. GDP loss also there. So this is, people thinks only the who smokes, that only affects. This is the second-hand smoking. So this is like the data shows 12% of the students who are aged between 13 to 15 years are exposed to the SHS in their home, and 22.2% who have exposure at the public place, and outdoor place 24.8. But this is also a tip of iceberg. Unconsciously, we many times sit and talk in those places where the smoking happens. And as far as the smoking happens, there is no safe limit. So second-hand smoking, what WHO says, whether it is home or the vehicle, the World Health Organization recommends the levels of the PM 2.5 should be 25 micrograms per cubic meter of air. There is another concept called third-hand smoking. We often ignore this. The second-hand smoking is the passive smoking. So whenever exhaled by a smoker or released from the end of the burning cigarette. And third-hand smoking is the residuals. Residuals which are deposited on the surfaces. And this is very important because our children's and the elder people are more vulnerable for this. The children have a higher rate of absorption rate, and they inhale 40 times, 40 times more than us. And most importantly, they have a hand-mouth coordination also. Whatever they touch, then they put in their mouth. So that is why our children are more vulnerable for this third-hand smoking as well. So These are some of the key facts on the second-hand smoking, how it can affect your health, and most of the people sitting here know this. So I am skipping this. So these are the ways where the third-hand smoke can actually have an exposure by mouth, lungs, as well as the skin. And the chemicals in the third-hand smoking, almost, when we say this in the smoking, 7,000 chemicals. When we say second-hand smoking, it is 4,000 chemicals. How many are carcinogenic? 250 chemicals are out of it are carcinogenic. There are many chemicals. Maybe if I will show it in some of the slides. But people thinks ki having some designated place in their home for smoking will solve the problem. That is the biggest myth. If you are sitting in a room, in a closed room, you're smoking, and if you're thinking your children and the parents are sitting in other rooms and that will not going to affect them, then it is a myth. Because, like I said in the beginning, there is this no safe limit for the smoke. So even if you are using exhauster, even you are closing the door, then also the smoke goes. And as far as the third hand smoking is concerned, it is absorbed in the surfaces, in the cloths. So even after opening window or airing room, or even if in vacuum cleaner, then also it will not solve the problem of the third hand smoke. So as far as the theoretical concept is concerned, the tobacco can cause any type of cancer, any type of cancer. But do we have evidences for that? We have evidences for the cigarette smoking, but we don't have evidences for the BD smoking. So we are conducting a multi-centric study involving 10 sites across India. That is the first study in the world which is going to associate the BD and all type cancer. So like previous speaker also spoke about why this youth age is important, because the mental health is associated with that. Because if you look at the topmost morbidity among this age group, that is depression. So actually people smokes to relieve for the stress, to feel better, but actually it increases the depression and the stress and attention deficit hyperactivity disorders. So this is the evidence-based framework which is given by the WHO. This is 6 evidence-based tobacco control measures that are proven to reduce tobacco use and save lives. The M stand for monitor tobacco use and prevention policies, protect people from tobacco smoke, offer help to quit tobacco use, warn about the dangers of tobacco, enforce bans and raise taxes. Are we doing it? Do we have laws? Do we have laws for tobacco control? Can anybody name the act, tobacco related regulation in our country? Yes, COTPA Act 2023. But the problem is, act is there, but implementation is there, not there. And one of the aim of our center is also to make the implementation in the states. So these are the COTPA Act sections, and I have just segregated this according to the levels of prevention: primary, secondary and tertiary prevention. And as you can, the most of the laws are towards the tertiary prevention. But if we want to protect our youth, we have to bring the primary prevention laws, more and more prevention laws. So these are some of the COTPA which are related to the advertisements, the product sold, sales and purchase to the minors, and proximity to the educational institute. So how to reduce tobacco density in university? When you go out, you can see many tobacco vendors selling tobacco openly. So how we can reduce? Yes. Is there any concept to reduce the tobacco density? Complete ban? It is not possible to do also. Even if we announce also, then it will be actually not happening. So that is the concept called tobacco licensing. Giving license those who are indulged in the sales of the tobacco, the individual and the businesses. There are many countries actually who have demonstrated this is the effective strategy to decrease the tobacco density in the city. So what you can do, firstly you can identify where are this tobacco vendors located, and you can actually track them, you can educate them, and gradually this is also a way to reduce the tobacco density. But Do any of our Indian city have tobacco licensing concept? Yes, there are few cities which have implemented and tried the tobacco licensing. So I am showing a few photographs of tobacco licensing concept from the state of Uttar Pradesh, that is the city of Lucknow. So this is the study which we done recently, and these are the, as you can see in the Google map where this tobacco licensing were given. So first of all, although they have introduced the concept of tobacco licensing and they agreed to bring, and that itself a biggest success, that needs big political will. So they introduce it, but although the tobacco licensing can reduce the density, but it has to do along with the CODPA implementation. If you are not working with the CODPA implementation, then no strategy will work. So this is the compliance of tobacco vendors in the city of Uttar Pradesh. As you can see, these are some of the photographs. As you can see, like one of the CODPA Act is, we cannot sell the tobacco within the 100 yards of the educational institute. As you can see, there are significant proportion who are selling. In the photograph, you can see just opposite to the gate of the educational institute, the tobacco vendor is there. Then these are the photographs. As per the CODPA Act, you cannot sell cigarette BD. You can sell cigarette and BD, but you cannot sell other things like toffee, chai, biscuit, buns, toffees, chips. But often you see wherever the chai, वहाँ पे cigarette मिलता है, the chips or other things, rusk, chai, जहाँ पे भी होता है, there we find this the cigarettes and the pan masalas. So this is the typical kiosk which we used to see in the northern part of our country, and hopefully here too. So as you can see, as per the CODPA Act, the direct advertisement and indirect advertisement is not allowed at this point of sale. So as you can see in the picture, there is the big advertisement by the company that is illuminated, brightened, and it is actually a graphics, you know. So this kind of, it is the complete violation of the CODPA, and this is a licensed vendor. And imagine about non-licensed vendor. So this is licensed vendor, but this is not a license to misuse the act. So this is tobacco product accessible to the minor. See, as per the CODPA Act, the tobacco product should be placed in the higher position so that it's not accessible to the minors. But as you can see in the picture, it is easily accessible to the minors, and minor is selling tobacco. Here also you can, as per the CODPA Act, the 60 by 30 centimeter, the health warning should be there. There are many imported cigarettes which do not have health warnings or any photographs on this, and it is all openly available in the kiosk. So see, this is a regulatory authority who needs to regulate this CODPA, UP state, the municipal corporation, and in front of the gate, the person having license is violating. So this is State Institute of Health. So in front of the gate, I mean just adjacent to the gate, this is also considered as the educational institute who trains the medical officers and all the medical health force, and they are violating it very openly. You know? This is tobacco, although it is not coming under CODPA, but this is the gap in the CODPA where we can see one side we are selling health and other side we are selling the tobacco. So this is, you can see, these are the children of the tobacco vendors who are selling tobacco. And as per the CODPA, the cigarettes should not be purchased loosely. It should, the cost should not be advertised like this. Whole pack needs to be given. But here, as you can see, it is loosely been sold. These are the license, although the government issued license, but before the license, the one needs to attend the training. It is a 2-day training where we will train them, educate them about the CODPA, what are the regulation under CODPA, what are the guidelines for selling the tobacco, everything. But in spite of that, they are proud to feel having such kind of license. They think they can sell tobacco in whatever manner. Now the e-cigarettes. How many of you here heard about e-cigarettes? This is completely banned in India. Completely banned in India, but this is openly been sold in the just near to the CM office. So as per the study, we actually gave some recommendation to the government that there should be a strict enforcement of the COTPA regulation. It is good that you took this tobacco licensing concept, but as you can see, if you are not doing any kind of surveillance, if you are not implementing the COTPA, then no strategy going to work. So strict implementation of the COTPA is required. And as far as is concerned, the educational institute, we have to collaborate with the educational institute, and we have to enforce the 100 yards of educational institute, the ban of the cigarette in the 100 yards of the educational institute, and the awareness campaigns. That also needs to be done. This is the framework which our center is working on. As you can see, this is the forces that influence the adolescent progression into the adult smoking. Now see, those who never smoked, on the right hand side, these are the measure which actually influences the youth for the cigarette smoking. On the left hand side, these are the counter measures. So what are the measures and the counter measures? The never smoked, how they get to know? Advertisement they see in the movies, even the video games also, sometimes the advertisement comes. Many of the things, these things are influenced. And then we have a lot of adult examples is there. In their own home it is there, There's a lot of things are there. So how we can cater them? By the advertisement. Okay? By the advertisement, the health promotion advertisement also needed. Like nowadays you go to movie theaters, in the beginning itself, one person is shown coughing and cancer. His name is Mukesh ka ad dekha hoga. So that is one type of intervention. So we are doing, but we need to do that more. Similarly, whenever the smoking scenes comes in the movies, the cigarette bans, the symbol used to come. And earlier in the OTT platforms, it was not there. It has been recently added in 2023. It has been recently added. So these are although it is baby steps, small steps, but of course we have to, of course the challenge itself very big. So we have to take very small steps. Then those who are thinking about smoking, the availability, we have to work on the availability. One of the concept which we need to work is the tobacco licensing. That can reduce the availability, we can reduce the density. So it cannot be, if it started to available in every corner of the streets, then of course it will be easily accessible to the minors. And what they are doing, they are selling toffee. The children are attracted toward the toffee, and when they going to buy the toffee, they see the adults smoking cigarettes. They think, yahi style, this is the style, I think. Now, because of some smokes because of the style, some smokes because of the peer pressures. So these are some of the things, that is banning vending machines, restricts sales to the minors. These are some intervention which we can actually work upon. Then the stages of the middle adolescent and the late adolescent is a stage of experiment, where the adolescent do a lot of experiments. They easily get influenced by the peers. So we need to work upon the school-based programs. Nowadays, we have transformed our existing sub-centers in the primary health centers into the health and wellness center, Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Center. We have actually introduced many good concepts. With the help of that, actually we can work on the school-based programs, where the school teachers, in every school, one teachers have to be a Ayushman Health Ambassadors, where they need to spend certain number of hours for the health promotion activities, where they have to keep this substance abuse as the one of the topmost priority. So that kind of initiative can be taken. Then peer-led intervention can be done among the school, students also. One leader can be there who can actually educate about the harmful effects of the tobacco. Then this is the comprehensive primary healthcare which we launched in 2018, Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Center. As you can see, for the community mobilization and health promotion, the huge importance is given. And as you can see, if you want to work on the tobacco, you have to work till the villages. As you can see in the data, the rural data is actually concerning. The trend in the rural, I mean the use of tobacco in the rural area is increasing. So you want to work upon that, you have to reach till the grassroots, then you have to catch the sub-center level, primary healthcare center level. We may take or design many urban health measures in the city of Chennai, but how we can reach the village at the grassroots level, where you have to reach with the help of ASHA, AIIMS. So that is why we have to use our existing 3-tier system of our country, that is nowadays, which is named as Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Center, and recently it is also changed as a Arogya Mandir, Ayushman Arogya Mandir. So this is, we in the National Policy Center, we don't just do research, we think globally, we act locally also. So we took a small initiative like a smoke-free Gorakhpur city campaign, where our main target is the school childrens. Then people ask, why are you targeting the school children? You are teaching many things to the students, they are even not at all getting. I said, if we wanted to make our children as ambassador, if your children goes and tell to the parents that do not smoke, the smoking have this much harmful effects. And if you have a pregnant woman and children are going and saying that will have some different effect, then if as a doctor, if I say, it's the duty to say. If your children who is 5 years kid, 4 years kid and telling do not smoke and throw the cigarette packets away from you, that have a different effect on the parents. So that is also our approach, where we sensitize the students and conducts many activities related to the substance abuse. We reach not only the private schools, we reach the rural most, the extreme difficult areas of the Uttar Pradesh, where people used to, study sitting on the floor. We used to target them also. We used to target the students who are studying in Delhi Public School, DPS like school also. So we also take a help of our MBBS students to demonstrate various Nukkad Natak, dramas, kind of things, to make them understand. We need to also work upon the media sensitization. We need to actually do a workshop for how to report a tobacco harmful effects, how it can be reported. So we used to conduct the media sensitization on the health impacts on the cigarette smoking as well. The security guards in our organization, every institute have the bunch of soldiers. If you train them, then it can be, there is no smoking. You can actually work on the no smoking areas in your, at least you can make smoke-free institutes, and the children can play smoke-free homes. Then once for everything we started to blame on the government. Let's make your home smoke-free. Let's make our institute smoke-free. Then it automatically the changes will come, because the small basic baby steps are very important. We also approach many digital media also. We involve, if you look at this is one of the example where we involve, the media persons, the cancer victim, and as you can see, it's a second-hand smoking cancer victim, the media expert, the senior assistant editor from Times of India, the people from AIIMS Delhi, then the BJP national spokesperson also, because ultimately, I said we need to involve political also, because we are a policy center. We wanted to bring changes in the policy and research, rare combination. So if you want to bring change, then you have to understand the policy. And as a doctor, we always spend our time in understanding how medicine cures health. It is also important to understand the policy. Unless that, you will not be able to achieve the desired effect which you are thinking. So many rallies, the World No Tobacco Days comes, the OPD patient, wherever you opportunity you get. Like we do NCD, everybody spoke about NCD, opportunity screening which we used to do. Similarly, these are opportunity wherever patient sits, utilize them. So these are and the media, you need to highlight the harmful effects, the effects, the researches which is ongoing. So you have to do a lot of advocacy. That's it from myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Sushil Kumar, sir, IMA JDN Standing Committee member from Jharkhand, to felicitate Dr. Venkatesh, sir.